That is why, as you can see in the graveyard, we have the mortal remains of our two great ancestors. From the right, Madame Crystal from Kingston, Jamaica, representing the West Indies. And in the middle is Samuel Carson from New York, US of A. Madame Crystal was a young, beautiful lady who was captured from here but landed in Jamaica as a slave African. But she never saw herself as a slave. She rather preferred to die than to be called a slave. While she was in prison in Kingston, Jamaica, she was one of the few females that decided to starve themselves to death in order to push for the abolishment of the slave trade. But when she did so, she endured the worst punishments of her life when she had her teeth all chiseled out in an attempt to force her to feed. The pains was so much for her to bear. In 1830, she lost her life. And according to historian, when she was about to pass on, this was the only thing she said: "Bring me back home someday." I am not sure she knew she would, but somewhere, somehow, her remains has been brought back. In the middle is Samuel Carson, the first African American without any formal education. Landed in the US Navy, served with all his strength and might, died at the age of 35 years, but he wasn't given a befitting burial. So on the 31st day of July 1998, the two remains of our ancestors re-entered the country through the infamous door of no return at the Cape Coast Dungeons. And immediately they came through that door, the name on that door was changed to the door of return. The following day, being the 1st of August 1998, the two were buried here. Why were they buried here? Because they have to come back to tell those that they left that the journey in the New World was very tough. Fast forward in 2019, it was a year of return celebration. The Prime Minister of Barbados also decided to have representation of this land. So she also excavated most slave cemeteries from Newton, Barbados. All the bones that she had, all the remains, she brought them together in a beautiful casket on the 11th of November 2019, all the way from Barbados. And that's the third tomb you see over here. Immediately after the burial, groups also petitioned that they also wanted to be buried here. But we cannot say no to you because this land equally belongs to you. So inside the graveyard was given out. And today we have 513 ashes on this land. The trade was abolished in 1807, but not slavery. With slavery, I don't know the date. I only know what the book says. That in the US of A, 1865, British colony 1834, French colony 1846, Brazil 1888. But for me, I don't believe slavery has been abolished. It has evolved into a new form. And today we have moved away from slavery in chains and shackles to mental slavery.
Rock on.
And that is why Bomani told us we should emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, because none other than ourselves can free our minds. We're going to make a spiritual walk to the river. But when we get to where we'll start the walk, I'll tell you something we have to do before we go. So let's make a short walk to the river.
Hey, Kofi, how about a nice group picture before we end up not doing it right here?
Okay.
How about a nice group picture before we proceed with the walk? Alright, so fam, we're on the way to the Ancestral River Park walk. And before we go, we're just gonna get a group energy of in solidarity. Yes, my good brother. Alright, so can we have some people on the other side? Basically from post to post.
Do you want to be in the picture?
Oh sure, especially beautiful ladies, absolutely, anytime. Brother, you want to join also?
Oh no, I said, did you want to be in it?
Oh yes, absolutely. I thought somebody else was going to join it. But yeah, yes, right about right here. So family, the journey continues.